smile, Brad. Nice. Thanks.
Crest 3D White, 100% more stain removal. Crest. My doctor recommends all for clear for my laundry.
It's free of dyes and perfumes.
And doesn't leave behind irritating residue. For a clean that's gentle on skin, all you need is all free clear.
Honey. NyQuil Severe Honey. Powerful cold and flu relief with a dreamy honey taste. NyQuil Honey. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine.
My name is Oswaldo Sanchez. I was stopped at the traffic light and suddenly I heard a bump in my back of my car. I remember in a commercial that it was pound 529 and I got in touch with Morgan office. It's very easy to communicate on the phone, email, or a text message. It's so easy that even my grandson can do it.
FanDuel every night is a watch party. New customers spend $5 and get $150.
Good morning. It's January 5th, around 2 o'clock in the morning. Temperature outside is 22 degrees.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
So, good morning from Indiana.
On the Wait Now Smart TV app. Watch as the troubleshooters explain why your car insurance rate may not have anything to do with your driving record.
The results have been really harmful.
Help a business owner with a messy problem.
Get in your face and gets in your eyes.
And confront suspected drug pusher.
My name is John Bull. I'm with Wait News.
Watch these and other troubleshooters investigations anytime.
Well, I'm typing in the text, so give me a few minutes.
Over 35 years ago, I saw it as another call to service, just like I felt when I joined the military. I made it my life's work to protect and defend the rights of everyone in my community. 5-star reviews like these mean more to me than just doing a good job. But we're working hard to make a difference in the lives of our clients and our country. If you've been injured, call the Carl Truman Law Office today.
Back now with the jobs some women are taking to have a shot at motherhood.
Well, I know being 22 degrees outside, it is cold.
Not included in all healthcare plans. Some women even taking
I gotta go pick my son up and
CNBC's Emily Lorsch reports.
take him over, and he has to go to a doctor or something.
Should I need it?
Just to get her shot at motherhood, Autumn Lucy
For, I guess, a study.
latte, making hundreds of them at Starbucks.
So, I'm asking you all to pray for the people over in Japan. Saw in the late news that they had an earthquake over there. So pray for those people over there. I want to throw out to my sponsor, but really not my sponsor. It's Pepsi Zero.
I was like, there's no way.
Pepsi, I love your Pepsi Zero since I got diabetes. So,
One of the largest coffee giant Starbucks.
I think RD on the scene was late because I missed his live feed. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning. I took a bath, took all my medicine.
For 3 months, and at the end of the 3 months, I was qualified.
So, I got that all out of the way.
She's not the only one who has pursued a job opportunity solely to help cover the costs
So,
associated with IVF.
I started looking and becoming.
remember, keep everything PG on here.
How Starbucks offers.
You know the rules. I don't explain to you.
Starbucks, Amazon, and Tractor Supply Company in the past
Be
3
polite to
years,
everybody
with one goal
who
in mind.
checks in.
Probably was a lot for you.
Go watch RD on the scene.
It was a lot, but for
Kern
me,
County
it was
Crime Watchers is part of RD on the scene, but it's the family YouTube channel.
There's a goal in mind.
Run by his daughter,
To do.
I guess his oldest daughter. and his son-in-law,
Both Maria and
Adrian,
Bob sharing their story,
and
honestly,
Ardy's grandson, and his baby daughter.
planning to be a foster parent.
Hello, y'all.
That her journey is
And if Texas Angel's on there, good morning
this one says pregnant.
to you. Good morning to everybody.
13-month-old Lord and Taz's
I think how I can figure I could do it in my automobile and just run off of my battery. But then I'd be doing short live streams.
I would do it all over again.
I would do it tomorrow, but while I'm waiting on my son to come out of the doctor's office, about 25 miles away, maybe more. I'm not sure how far it is. Oh.
And in addition to that, more couples these days are
So,
pregnant later in life. They're prioritizing their jobs, other
so
opportunities.
just be careful if you're driving or going to work. So, you know, be careful.
Okay, Emily, thank you. When we come back, medical miracle, the newborn receiving the world's first partial heart
I see in Kentucky where the governor, they signed a bill, I think for marijuana, I think, but he wants to add more stuff to it. Since I live in Indiana, can I get a, Medicare card or Medicaid card, doctor card or whatever it is to get medical marijuana, which I can't even afford to buy that. Maybe get better gummy bears, CBD gummy bears. I know Michigan and the other states where everything's legal, that, I wish Indiana get some, but this governor we got is, until the federal government, I gotta get rid of remote control. So, I slept about 4 hours, so that should give me enough to do, if I stay awake until 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna, like I say, leave and go pick my son up. So that's good. To make a donation, my name, 4375. That way I know it comes from a YouTuber. Excuse me. And I see through, I guess, emails and however YouTube do it. People ask, I know you heard me say it before, a new laptop to do what they call gaming. And I guess it has to be the best graphics card in it, I guess. I got an old HP, maybe 3 to 5 years old. I think I bought it after I got this house, I think. I'm not sure. But it's 22 degrees outside. They're talking about snow this weekend. Anywhere from 3 inches to 6 foot. No 6 foot. Nope. If it is, I'm snowbound. I'll be stuck in a house, so I don't get my EBT until Sunday. I hope there ain't no snow, because I like to go run to Walmart and get me a 24-pack of Pepsi Zero. When I went on the first, they was out. Somehow either Pepsi's failing to do their filling Walmart up in Scottsburg, Indiana, the other Walmart and Sam's is in Clarksville, Indiana. I can't understand how come Sam's don't carry Pepsi Zero Sugar. They carry Diet Pepsi. I think a couple other brands of soft drinks, but I love Pepsi, but they're not, legal sponsor. So if you got diabetes, you got to cut your sugar way, way out. I've done that. My A1C when I started was way over 6 that I can remember. Then 5.7. Months ago when I went to my sugar doctor, it was 5.5, I believe. And when I went on the 3rd, my A1C was 5.2, so it's coming down. After we leave his doctor's office tomorrow, run to Charlestown, check the mailbox, since today's Friday. But I'm not used going to Charlestown until after 12 o'clock. And after we leave there, I go to my drugstore, pick up my medicine, then across the road, get my son medicine, and see, maybe, I know they don't carry 24 packs or 34, 36 pack Pepsi Zero. Why the JC store don't carry that in Charlestown, I don't know, but that's okay. You all have hope everything's fine in Bakersfield, California. Pray for those people over in Japan. They had an earthquake when I saw on the local news. If you want to follow news where I live, you want to go to WAVE TV or something like that. You always see what the weather is and, this and that. And get back to the story. People ask, what do you need to do live streaming in the car? I said, I need some kind of phone holder where I guess you can stick it on your dashboard. I seen some where you could spread it, stick it in it. I can't remember if it got a suction cup on it or not. I sure don't want to glue it to my dashboard in case I ever get another vehicle. And a cord for my iPhone SE. I looked yesterday. I looked in my closet. I looked in cabinets. I looked everywhere. I don't know what I done, but my iPhone is the iPhone SE. I guess it's red if that makes a difference. And I need a double thing like a cigarette plug where you can run 2 cigarette lighter plugs into. I gotta keep my dash cam, which it was a year old in December. I wish I had a better one, where I could download it either to my cell phone or to my laptop, and I can live stream some things that's, I see out there on the highway. But we gotta get on I-66 65 after I picked my son up. You know, head towards the doctor. The Indiana system right now is kind of quiet. I don't know why, but I guess they using their computers this time of night. You know, they don't put everything over the radio, but anything that's secret, they use their computers, which I think is hooked up to the radio. And they said, some people said, how about gift card? I said, well, since diabetes, no fast foods. Maybe gift cards for something like PetSmart, where they help me to feed my kitty cats. You know, I spent about $75 on them. Instead of going to Rural King, I was at Tractor's Fly, because, I was kind of tired, because it wears me out. I spent $75 for 2 bags of 44 pounds of cat food. I think they call it Muppable Cats food. So then I got my what I call cat litter. I don't know where you can find it unless you got a Tractor Supply store. It's in a green bag. It's pellets. And it smells like pine. If you got inside cats, you might want to try it. Get your regular cat box. Put 2 of the large cups that you get those fast food restaurants put in there. If you got cat litter, you sprinkle a little bit in there. That way kitty cat knows the smell and use it. And if you got one of those scoopers, you could pick out number 2 out of it. But after it gets down to the nitty gritty, it turns into sawdust. But it knocks your smell down to in the house, probably 90%, 95%. You can't smell it when you go outside and come in. But since I live in a hole in the ground and all this, I hear a train go by. I heard a train whistle. If you want to send a gift card for PetSmart, there's a PetSmart in Jeffersonville, to help me buy dry cat food. But I wish places, have at least 40 pounds or bigger, but they don't. Why, I don't know. But, man, I lost my other remote control because Netflix just popped up while I was watching the news. Like, somebody's playing with my TV. If anybody knows something about these smart TVs, let me know. That means I got to sit out and get Wildcat and Blackie off my lap where I can see. So, you hear the train whistle. So, I don't know why I have to sit when I go live, in the description, it still has New Year's Eve of 2023, and I got to set it live, but I can't do it before I go live. I guess that's part of prison setup. So anybody, thinking about doing live stream and you do YouTube, you got to get 50 subscribers. Prison kind of gets you away from it, but when I found out about prison, I kind of love it. But when I use my laptop, if somebody explained to me, it's a regular cheap old laptop I got from Best Buy. And when I hit, to log off or to end my live stream on my laptop, then another screen pops up and shows, it's saving it. I never did do that before, but the last couple of times I've done it, it has. I guess it saves it to prison, to, for people who watch through prison. Like I say, I'm a rookie. I'm asking for y'all's help. You know how to get in touch through YouTube or however they do it. I guess that's in the comments, I guess is how you do it. I don't know. Y'all can explain some of that to me. I would love to do live streaming in my automobile. Gas is cheaper here than what it is in California. Somebody who's on a fixed income maybe go out once a week. Unless you go, if you're on fixed income, that means you're not working. I guess the food in the grocery store is a little bit high. I had a dream, that's what woke me up, about this good-looking girl. That's not the first time I dream about her. I better not dream about her the third time, because third time it comes true. I did get me a lotto ticket, but Indiana, you got Indiana Lotto, you got Powerball, and Mega Million. I bought either Powerball or the Mega Million. It's way up in the millions, $100 millions of dollars. But it's only up to the Lord upstairs. I could use it. Because if I hit that big lotto, I would, get some contractor, see what I have to do to build on this house. Extend my kitchen out 10 feet with a garage. Talk to my other neighbor. Well, I got no houses on the west side of my house. Buy that section and all this. And put me a kind of like a big garage where you pull a backhoe in or keep your lawnmowers in and stuff like that. Or maybe buy the back 40. I think the back 40, maybe 20 acres that this guy's owns. But to get to it, he has to go through my yard to get to his back 40. But I see nothing in my deed saying I have to do it, but that's the person I am. Try to get along with your neighbors. Once I can live stream in my automobile, you can send me some kind of gas card unless I get 50 subscribers. Share it with your friends. But maybe I could pick up more subscribers if I go live in my mobile. The only way I could probably have a scanner in my car, I would have to get what they call SDS 100. It's by Bearcat of Uniden, which you can go to Channel Master or something, or Bearcat Warehouse. You know about how much it costs. To get everything I want on that, you would have to pay for the county, which is Clark County. The state is Indiana. Then the DMR and the NDXN or something like that. So that way I can have my scanner in my coat pocket during the summertime. You know, that's something, you know, because, you know, I can live stream through, you know, listen to that and catch if there's any wrecks on I-65. I tell you about I-65 where I live and what I hear on the radio. Between the 1 mile marker up to maybe the 49, they have wrecks left and right. They always have the wrecks. And, you know, also if I could hit the lotto, I'd go to a Jeep dealer, get a Jeep Gladiator with a bed liner sprayed in it. I think that's done by Lynn X around here. They're not a sponsor. And I guess you Z-barred it. That way it'll last a long time. Type of transmission would be a standard transmission, which I know Jeep Gladiator is 4-wheel drive. So, you know, if I hit the lotto, I can afford to have the front end, you know, 4-wheel drive fixed. But with the warranty out there you get with it, which I don't know, what color would I want? I had a 73 Monte Carlo in 1973. That was the first and last new vehicle I had. I'd be kind of blue with metallic plate in it. And a dash cam for front and back has a GPS. A date, the date, the month, and so on, you know, front and back for it. And I think they have 2 cigarette lighters or maybe a USB connection. A good AM, FM radio. I know they came out with digital radio, but I don't know too much about that. That's if I hit the lotto. If I also hit the lotto, I would buy a bigger Kubota. You know, if somebody live in my area, or you can go to your local Kubota dealer. You know, I describe what kind of Kubota I want, but it's about the size of a 1025R, not mentioning that name. I don't like that color. Orange I like, blue I like, but, you know, if I could hit the lotto, I'd buy a bigger Kubota. It would have a bucket on the front of it with a quick connect to it, and a big snow plow thing to go on the front of it, like your county and street and state departments use to clean the snow off. And I could do something like that. Because a cab, you would have heat. You know, it gets cold in Indiana. Sometimes it gets down to single digits. Have it drop below 0. I think in 70 years, probably yes. How many times, I don't know. But where I live in part of Clark County, Indiana, I guess you could kind of call it Tornado Alley. in a little town back in 2017, 16, somewhere in there, had a tornado come through a town in Henryville, turn over a couple of school buses. I don't think any kids was in it. You got a Catholic church right there next to it. Then you got another church across the street. God was protecting because them churches didn't get touched at all. So I said people really went to church. Then there was a little restaurant across from the school that damaged that. And then Charlestown, Indiana, done some damage. Marysville, Indiana is north of Charlestown. And New Washington area, which is at the east of Marysville and Otisco. So I'm kind of in Tornado Alley. I'm kind of dumbstruck. How come Clark County hasn't put tornado sirens up for the people of Underwood and Memphis, Indiana? I think they got one in Henryville, I think. But how about the people that lives out in the country? You know, I don't know if you can hear them sirens if the bad weather comes. You know, I wish Clark County get the rear end in gear. I don't know if California has any tornadoes or not, or windstorm. If it's foggy, like I seen RD on the scene talk about, they had a wreck in a stolen white SUV. It was so foggy, he couldn't leave his house because he's worried about his safety and like that. I know people have to go to work, but when it's so foggy and you can't see your hand in front of your face, Indiana gets fog like that. Back when I was younger, it's so foggy. It was so foggy. I don't know if I was drinking back there then. I can't remember. And I was coming, I guess I was down in Jeffersonville or maybe coming from a bar in Kentucky. I don't know. You couldn't see the road. They said, how could you drive if you couldn't see the road? You put your four-way flashers on. And, well, you couldn't see the ghost line to your right. But you could see the line that goes down the middle of the road. So 62 is a four-lane highway, which is separated by the grass median. So that's how I got home. But I learned my lesson that day. If it's foggy like that and you don't have to go anywhere, stay at home. I know people, you have to support your family. And when it's that foggy, you're not going to see the car in front of you until it's too late. Your life is more important. What would your kids would do? You know, you got to think of that. Look at the police department that has to go to them wreck when it's so foggy. That's what I like about California, especially when I see there in Bakersfield. You know, Bakersfield, you got some good police officers. Some of them's polite. Some of them kind of you know what there, but, you know, they're rookies. They got to make a name for themselves. All rookie police officers got to be a-holes. They got to make a name for themselves. Like the sheriff, they got a Scott County. He got rid of the drugs. If you come into Scott County, Indiana, and try to sell drugs, you're in trouble. You're going to get prison time. They're not going to plead it down. because the prosecutor and the judge agrees with the sheriff in Scott County, Indiana. They got rid of some girls like Pinky in Bakersfield. That's just a nickname, I guess, a live streamer put on her, Pinky. He got rid of them because of the AIDS pandemic. You know, you used to, Scott County had, I think Clark County had, where you exchange your needles and they give you new ones. But since the pandemic of AIDS went down, Scott County kind of done away with it. I know people still sharing them. Sometimes when I walk on the main road, I find a few needles. If I find a pop bottle and I got a lid on it, I put it in it, bring it home, and burn it. But I tried, carry something like gloves or something with me where I won't get my fingerprints unless I call the police department. You do that to hand it over to them. They kind of mad about because they have to come and get it when they could be doing something else. And another thing I don't understand, we got a new sheriff in Clark County, Indiana, who was the deputy or the chief deputy under the crooked Sheriff Jamie Noe, who's been arrested under indictment. The IRS, tax account people, is looking into. But they got him for ghost employment and a bunch of other stuff. You can go to YouTube and type in Jamie Noe, because it's, was covered by the news media, and it was the cover. But man, I had this other guy's YouTube, and I can't think what his live stream for YouTube is. Something about, I don't know. I guess it's popped up every once in a while as a new, new streaming thing or something. That's how come I see some new YouTube channels. I go up there and click on them, watch them, subscribe, and give them the thumbs up to help them out and, spread the word about this but I wish I could remember the name of it, but that's what you get for not writing it down. Well, that's good. But if you go to, on YouTube, Jamie Noe, because he done videos about him, he brought the crooks of Clark County, Indiana. Now he's doing a video of Meade County, Kentucky. He done a pro say on the cis and disorder on it. And Kentucky is a commonwealth. They got different laws in Indiana. He tried to get it notarized at the sheriff's office and to the county clerk's office. He's not allowed. It's a public building. But they got crooks in Meade County, Kentucky. I don't know how far it is from Louisville, Kentucky. Why can't the FBI investigate Meade County? He has complained about the sheriff's department, the jailer, JJ, because the jailer in the state of Kentucky is an elected official. In Indiana, the sheriff runs the jail. He puts people to be in charge of it. So that's how Indiana is. Maybe maybe California is set up the same way. I don't know. So, that's something it's weird about Kentucky. But this one guy does, videos. They had one of them deputies, which he talks about it in his video, got his girlfriend, beat her up. They got a federal lawsuit over that. And JJ, that county down there in Kentucky, he has put this YouTuber's address, what vehicle he's driving, what his driver's license number, his cell phone number, put all that information out. That is illegal. He defamed the YouTuber. Some police departments don't know about that. I'm mad when I heard on a YouTuber, not mentioning this YouTuber, but since I live in Indiana, I wouldn't know where to go to look this law up. You heard people talk about what the Democrats is going to do. I am a Democrat, registered Democrat. But it depends who's running for office. I try not to vote for the party. I vote for the one who's best qualified. So that's why in 2024, the primary, I'm going to vote Republicans. I want to vote for Mr. Trump. The Democrats don't like him because the Democrats wants the one world government. And people says I'm nuts. Everybody got to be a little nuts to survive in this world. You all remember the movie, I think, called Red Dawn. They invaded that city, the state. It was up to the kids. I think the school was the Wolverines or something like that. It had, I could be wrong on the name, Patrick Swayze, I think. Could be wrong, where the Russians came in. They hit the government buildings. They hit the gun shops. You know how the Russians knew about those places? Because your people register your guns. Long as you got a gun at home, don't register them. Because when you register your guns, they got your address. That's what happened in this movie, Red Dawn. I said this could happen in the United States. That's what the government's trying to do. They're trying to take your gun rights away. California done started it. I think that YouTuber mentioned it came into effect January the 1st. Even if you got a CCW permit, you're breaking a new California law. If you sitting on your front porch with your rifle, you're out in public. First time, I believe, in California, they will probably take your guns away or arrest you. I don't know how it's written. But I would think they would have to give you a warning. You cannot go out in public with your gun, even with a CCW, which, if some people don't know, it's your gun permit. That's the Democrats. Your people out there, full-blooded Democrats, you might have a gun. If you do in California, you're breaking the law. You can raise Cain. Peaceful protest. I said peaceful. No fighting like that. Contact your people at your capital. You know who they are. Send them an email. You know, I guess you can find out who voted for that bill. I say the ACLU would get involved in it because it's about your rights. You have the rights to protect yourself. And if you got a gun permit /CCW, which the state of California you got from them, does that make that illegal too, since you got a gun permit? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a police officer. I live, I guess, 2,000 miles from California. Maybe 1,000, I don't know. So that's something. Write those people in your state capital. Complain about it. So you figure with your tax dollars, if they get arrested and sue the state of California, you know who has to pay for the state attorney or the DOJ? Your taxpayers have to pay for it. So do it peaceful. No fighting. No burning houses down. Business down. Or anything like that. If you go to a gun dealer or a pawn shop, you walk out, you're out in the public. You're in trouble under California law, but I don't know where you go to find it in California. But Indiana, you go to the state of Indiana IC codes. But California's the first one that started. The Democrats in D.C., they want to do it. But right now, state of California is the guinea pig. The people in D.C. will see how that plays out in lawsuits. So that's wasting taxpayers' money. I think I hear a medical helicopter. That's what it sounds like. They must have had a wreck somewhere. You know, we got medical helicopters around here. As far as air units, Indiana State Police has one. I used to know a few pilots, but they retired. As far as Clark County, Indiana, they did have one. But the sheriff that we got, Scotty Maples, I don't know what he did with it, or he still got it. The only time they use the air units around here is doing Louisville, Thunder over Louisville. I guess that's carry on channels where you can see them all over the United States. But I forget what local TV station carries it. I don't know if it's WAVE, WHAS, or WLKY, or WDRB. One of them carries it live because you go down to Jeffersonville or on the Louisville, Kentucky side, you can watch the planes. They got an air show. When it gets time, they had fireworks. And it's one of the biggest fireworks there is. It's Thunder over Louisville. They have that before they have the Kentucky Derby. You can, I guess, type in Thunder over Louisville and find out when it is in 2024. I know it's before Derby, which is in May, so you know, if you can't get it on TV and you're going to take a vacation, you might want to come down there and maybe reserve a motel room or something. They got quite a few motels on the Kentucky side where you can watch it. You can go on the Indiana side, but when it's over, they got a heck of a traffic jam. Police on both sides got like 265 shut down. That's about the 7-mile marker, somewhere like that. They got Kentucky interstate blocked down where you can leave Louisville. So you have to wait for it to clear. And they got rules for Thunder over Louisville. I don't think you can have any coolers, but I believe there's no alcohol. They do have portable outhouses. When I took my kids when they was young, you have to wait. Sometimes people can't wait, but they added more portable outhouses. So that's something you got to think of. If you can watch Thunder over Louisville on your local TV station, that's probably the best bet. You can look it up and see if your local stations carry it, or you can see Thunder over Louisville and see if it's ABC or CBS or what carries one of those stations. So, if you can watch it, because it's good fireworks. I just stay at home and watch it on TV. I don't want to go down there and fight that traffic, because if I was doing a live stream, that live stream would probably be rated XXX, because people does not pay attention. I'm glad I don't live in California. Bakersfield, that is stupid. People don't pay attention. I know I got off the subject when that foggy day in Bakersfield, California, when this idiot stole a white SUV. I don't know if he was speeding or what, but you got those stoplight boxes. He hit that. They had no stoplight in that part of Bakersfield. I forget the street. But you can go to RD on the scene and find out that video. It was so foggy, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. The fire department was there on the scene. They had to use the jaws of life to get the person out of the vehicle, take him to the hospital. That's one thing. It didn't take long for Bakersfield Street Department to come there and put a new box. In the state of Indiana, it's done by NDOT, Highway Street Department, Highway Department. They the ones that put them boxes in and put those little wires in the blacktop or the concrete, for the stoplights in Indiana. It's NDOT down it. So this is not a paid commercial. Since YouTube, I don't have 50 subscribers. That's to you, Pepsi, sugar free. But I like to have cans, so, I'm not a paid sponsor, but if you work for Pepsi or you know someone that works for the corporate office, you can tell them about it. They can use my post office box. Because I would have to verify it comes from Pepsi and their 800 number. That way I can call them and give them my address. They couldn't get a big truck in here. They would have to use something like a pickup truck or van, like that. But if you got diabetes, And if you like Pepsi, try Pepsi sugar free. You know, some doctors say, well, drink diet drinks. I don't like the taste. If you see what's in them diet drinks, you know, to me, that's a no-no. But having no sugar in your soft drinks is better for you. I know there's other soft drinks out there. I'm not mentioning their names, but they got sugar-free soft drinks. But I love Pepsi. So they're not a paid sponsor, but that's to you people who got diabetes. Look at, you got no sugar. You know if you got diabetes, you can't have sugar. If you got high blood pressure, you need to cut your fries out. And some of you that takes an Ozempic shot once a week, you know what it does to you. It does help you drop your A1C down. It also helps you lose weight. Another thing I don't like about it, nothing you eat tastes right. I love pizza, not mentioning any companies. I like bologna sandwiches. And I like Braunschweiger on bread. I like peanut butter and honey sandwiches. I used to go through a loaf and a half of bread a week. Now, no bread. Sometimes when I go to a grocery store, I get me so many donuts. Because when I was a kid, Dad and Mom always fix these cinnamon rolls. I tried, eat my donuts on a Sunday, keep what my dad used to do. I get glazed donuts, but sometimes I get those cinnamon rolls. So that means I'm going to have to get some for Sunday, but well, they got an EMT run in Clark County. For abdominal pain somewhere in Clark County, which that'd be the Salisbury Fire Department. New Chapel Ambulance is owned by the ex-sheriff, which he'd been arrested. All people is innocent. But what I don't like, they got a judge from, change of venue. They got a judge from Washington County, which is in Salem, Indiana. His lawyer, not mentioning his name, asked for $50, and the judge asked for $75. And Jamie Noe paid $75,000 cash. To me, he's a police officer, an ex-Indiana State police officer. 2 terms as sheriff of Clark County. As a police officer, I know you people got some friends out there who is police officers. They know where they can get fake IDs. They know how to do this and that. Make your bond maybe $500,000. $75,000 when you got married, money in different places. They search his house. They search the New Chapel Fire Department, which is on the outskirts of New Albany, Indiana. They searched New Chapel Fire Department, which is in Utica. Search that. But One place they forgot to search is his girlfriend's house. Yeah, I said his girlfriend because he's married. Got her pregnant. She was either a city council or Jeff or council or commissioner of the Clark County Council. Them records are sealed. So does she have some of his money? Or does he own that property? The records are sealed. So, that's something that maybe the Indiana State Police wants to look at. Like I say, I know this lady was either city council or the council for the county or commissioner. I forget what she was and what her name is. And they had a kid. He pays child support. But why would a sheriff want to be crooked in Clark County, Indiana? Had a good sheriff years ago. He was a Jeffersonville police officer and the chief of police of Jeffersonville, Buddy Parker. He had 2 terms as sheriff. He was real nice. And the first year, he made $1 million the first year as sheriff. So that tells you what kind of sheriff, what the money is for at least Clark County, maybe for the state of Indiana. Anytime you get served protective orders or divorce papers or foreclosures, he gets a cut of that money that you pay for. He gets money from that. So you make $1 million a year. You figure 2 terms, that's 8 years. So that's $8 million that the sheriff of Clark County made. So why do you have to be a crooked sheriff? It's hard to understand. Why would you do something like that? I know him. He's a a-hole as a sheriff. So, to me, he knew better. He knew the state constitution. He knew that the United States Constitution, we have auditors or exposed corruption. He got kicked out by the sheriff's department and the jailers of the Clark County Jail, which now, since they got a new sheriff in town, and they probably been sued about violating the First Amendment rights. Remember, if you're on public property like a sidewalk or a city street, the way I understand it, it's your right. So that's something to remember. Do not go on the private property. Some states you have to have the other person's permission. But I don't know if it's on private property or what. Another thing, you live streamers out there can tell me that know something about it. Or them auditors. I know they got camera glasses you can use. My question to those camera glasses, does it pick up audio? And what kind of SD card does it have in there? Can you download it to your computer? I like to get something like that. Only those camera glasses have audio. Do they have a remote control that you can have in your coat pocket where you can hit the remote control of it to turn it on and off. You know, that's something I don't know. I went, but I don't think it does any good. Maybe there's YouTube videos. I do that tomorrow sometime after I get home, since I don't have a thing I can plug my cell phone in. Oh, it's hard for this old man. I got socks laying on my cord, so I gotta be careful not to disturb the king. Which the king is the #1 tomcat. So, you know, if you got any information about camera glasses, if they have audio too, you might want to donate a pair of them. So that's one way I can do something in my car. Then I get home, I can download it or upload it to YouTube. You know, that might be something. I don't know. But I look it up on YouTube. Maybe somebody done a video on camera glasses. I don't know. So you might want to, you know, think of something like that if you want to donate. I told you the things what I like to be donated. I gave you my post office box. I do need a new computer, which is gaming computer, like maybe HP, Dell, or something. But as far as a Mac, I wouldn't know how to play with it. I know my iPhone is something like a Mac. But I do need a laptop that's made for gaming, where I can do a better live stream because they got a better graphics card. So that might be something you want to send to the U.S. Post Office. And they got a big box that they can put something like it in. They leave a key in your regular mailbox. You get the key and you go over and open it up. To make sure I get it, you know, I know it costs a few dollars more to have a return receipt. That way you know what day I got it on. One thing I like to know about, which I've watched a few videos on the GoPro, I think the GoPro 12, and I've seen people use GoPro. I remember, I could be wrong, that they talk about you can Bluetooth it, but does that mean you can Bluetooth it to your cell phone where you can do live videos? You know, I'm not sure. If you all know anything about GoPros, let me know. Do they have a cable that you can hook it up to your cigarette lighter? Because I've seen some, but people's using, they have in their vehicles. So, you know, I don't know. I know you got 2 batteries, or I guess you get 2 batteries. How do you charge them batteries? You know, that's a question. I saw this one guy, I can't remember his website. I had it on my mind, I forgot it. Oh, it's for public safety. Go to YouTube and look up public safety videos, and you see who I'm talking about. He's for corruption. But like I said, go to for public safety. He lives in Indiana. Where in Indiana, I don't know. So that might be something if you want to look into it. So, you want to look at that. It's for public safety. He been doing a video in Meade County, Kentucky, which that's a crooked county. The sheriff, the jailer, even some of the Kentucky State Police, I believe, is at District 4. I'm not sure. It covers Meade County. I think the FBI should get involved in it. He got arrested once for something that happened. Like I say, you have to look at his videos. So, like I say, you can send gift cards. I said, if PetSmart got gift cards, you can send that, because I got a PetSmart. It's in Jeffersonville, Look up the biggest cat food they got, And another thing, I like to have in the bedroom, the living room, was a cat litter robot thing where the cat goes in there, do the business. They step out, that turns, it dumps everything in the thing, then it grows back where the cat can get in there again. That's something I like to have, but you have to look at the price at PetSmart unless you can find someplace cheaper. There's, like I said, there's other videos I watch on YouTube, like Tractor Time with Tim, the Arms Family, and the Morgan, A1 Media, White T-shirt Media, which is in Bakersfield. I love them, 'cause if I can't sleep, I stay up, or if I wake up like I did now, I watch them because it helps pass the time away. I got, get a hold of my son about 6 o'clock, make sure he's awake, 'cause, he has to be at that doctor's place, I think at 8 o'clock in the morning. He's going to be used kind of a guinea pig, it's some kind of, I don't know, not survey or something like that. So he's going to have blood work, and I don't know what else, it pays you. I forget what it's called. But I guess it's maybe a study. I don't know. So click that bell. Hit it again where you get all notifications. Then go over and get the thumbs up. Please share this. I don't know how to put the link in it, but I should have went to Twitter and put it on there. Like I said, I keep forgetting when you're 71 years old, that's something, that, I forget. I was diagnosed what they call early Alzheimer's. Anybody go to your family doctor, you can ask him what early Alzheimer's is. You can get it at 20 years old. For what the couple of doctors told me, it's inherent. How do you inherit early Alzheimer's? Or, that's something I don't know. But that's how come I got a calendar in the bathroom with all the doctor dates. Then I put my son's dates where I can remember when I have to pick him up to take him to the doctor. Since his Jeep was broken down, for some reason Social Security is being an a-hole. Anybody who have got SSI or Social Security back pay, you know you get all that first, then you get your checks after that. Somehow Social Security is screwing up. But if you pay a Social Security or any government office, you have to pay like your taxes or anything like that. They want it right there and then, and they charge you interest. I think Social Security, since they failed to send him his back pay, that means if they haven't sent him his back pay, that means his lawyer ain't getting his money out of it. He called his lawyer, I don't know, last week or the last part of December. And his lawyer told him, said, you should have got it. So that should be the first check you got. But he forgot to ask him, have he got his pay? That means if my son haven't got his pay, that means the lawyer ain't got his pay.
EMS have a BLS transfer, 19-year-old female, Scotty Yard, North downtown.
Well, the ambulance going to the hospital up in Scott County on a young person, transfer him to another hospital. It might be Scott County Hospital. Then you got Clark County Hospital, which is now owned by Norton's Hospital, which Norton's is over in Louisville, Kentucky. I do not want to go across the river because some of my family can't drive in Louisville, especially my son. Anytime he would have to go to a specialist over in Louisville, I have to drive him, and he uses GPS to see how to get there. So they transferring this young lady to Norton's, I think, downtown. I guess that means Louisville. It could mean Clark County Hospital, which is part of Norton's. So, that's funny. Like the hospital in New Albany, Indiana, that's part of Baptist Hospital. Baptist Hospital got, other places. They got one up at Scottsburg. They got some in Jeff. They got some in Clarksville. I say they probably got some in New Albany. I like to see the U of L hospital by Charleston Hospital. They've been closed for years. I like to see them buy that because they redoing it. And where I went to have my heart attack, which is the KMC Hospital in Clarksville, I like to see the U of L hospital take that over. And maybe a VA hospital would take it over, but also have it in case you're not a veteran. Because KMC was a good hospital. The only reason they closed, they had a few doctors. One of my heart doctors was done it, which they caught him before I had my heart attack. Cause those doctors were at some hospital in Kentucky. They got caught, I guess, by Medicaid and the state by putting pacemakers that you didn't need. So my heart doctor back there years ago got 42 months. His malpractice insurance paid. After his 42 months is up, he cannot be a heart doctor for 1 year. He has to pay everybody back. But to me, he was a good heart doctor. But why do you have to commit fraud to Medicaid or Medicare? So I don't know what time it is. Since I don't have a clock, I guess there's a way. I've been on there about an hour and 20 minutes, so that's long enough. So hit the share button to your friends. I got first-time home buyers. I tell you how to go through to be a first home buyer. You could check with a bank. You could check with HUD. You could check at VA. The best one I found is USDA. It's based on your income. Look at that if you want to buy a home. If you're going to have to have your home inspection. Go to Mike Holmes on YouTube, or I think you can bring up Mike Holmes, but it's also Home FULTV. He's the best home inspector that I know of. He finds things that home inspectors don't find. By watching his show, you know what to ask your home inspector. Is he a qualified and licensed building contractor? Is he or she licensed electrician? Is he or she a licensed plumber? Is he or she a licensed air conditioning / furnace person? No, ask for qualifications. Does he have the infrared thing where you can see if air is coming into your windows? Like I said, go to Mike Holmes' YouTube video and you can see what equipment he has. Stuff like that. So if you want to know more about first-time home buyers, you can email me and I get back to you if you got certain questions. I try to go in detail what you go through. Like that, you do have to take your first-time home buyers. Even second-time buyers. You might mess up with your first house and you find things later on after you move in. So go to Mike Holmes / Home Full TV, Home FULTV. But I guess you can find it as Mike Holmes Home Inspection. That shows you what to go through. Who pays for him? I don't know. I don't know if the family turns and sue the building contractor or the person who didn't disclose the problems, I don't know. That's a question you got to ask. But you look at Mike Holmes' videos, that gives you the questions that you need to ask if you're a first-time home buyer. There are people that will lie to you, so you want to get an inspection. I think maybe $250. I'm not sure, but you want to look at those videos. Mike Holmes / that's his name, or Home FULTV, and you will find the questions that you need to ask when you have your home inspection. And if you got a good real estate agent, you have what they call deed insurance. But your real estate agent will explain it to you. If someone screws up on your property survey, you probably would have to pay for it. But since you have that deed insurance, whatever they call it, you have to ask your real estate agent. You need that to protect yourself. Be wary of those home warranties. Really read the fine print. I had a home warranty, which they got sued by Arizona State. They supposed to cover replacement. I had to pay the technician $75. And to replace my hot water heater, I had to pay $300 and some odd dollars, where the paperwork says I didn't have to pay it. I filed with the Indiana Attorney General, the BBB. They lied like always, but I explained they being sued in the state of Arizona. You can see what my complaints was compared to the lawsuit in Arizona. So be wary of those homeowners insurance. Ask questions. Read everything that covers how much you have to pay, because they will lie to you. So you want to look into that. I've seen they advertise on TV car warranties. So look, read the fine print. You might pay a little bit, but you might be surprised. So be wary of those car warranties unless you buy a new automobile. So you might want to look into that. I hope I helped you, but you can make comments if you watch this video. But if you look at that one video I've done on my Ford Ranger over 3 years ago where I asked for money, disregard that. Disregard that on that video of my Ranger where I asked for, I think, $3,000. When I did, I traded it in on my 2011 Toyota. So disregard that money I asked for in that YouTube videos. So be safe out there. Obey the traffic laws. Like those live streamers in Bakersfield, California, like A1 Media, White T-Shirt Media, I think the other one's called Bravo, I think, RD on the Scene, and Kern County Crime Watcher. They are not police officers. They're not firemen. They're not ambulance people. They abide by the traffic laws in the state of California. They bring you live streaming from police pursuits, car wrecks, house fires, stuff like that. So if you're into that, go to those YouTube videos. And another one I listen to, if you live in Bakersfield, California, and you can't afford a police scanner, go to YouTube, and it's called Bakersfield Scanner. I don't know who does it. And he does his streaming through YouTube. But he does use radio reference. Anybody who has a police scanner know what radio reference is. That way you find the police frequency for your state, this and that. So that's something, in case you can't afford a scanner, you live in Bakersfield, you can go Bakersfield Scanner on YouTube. For what I've read, he's on the air, Bakersfield time, 12 to 12. I like to listen to it all night, but I guess they charge them for it. So donate to that channel, the Bakersfield Scanner. So you might want to look at it if you want to listen to what's going on in Bakersfield. If you're not from Bakersfield or you used to live there, you can go to that YouTube channel. If you want to keep up on your hometown and find out what goes on. If you used to live in Bakersfield, go to RD on the Scene, or Kern County Crime Watchers, A1 Media, or Bravo, White Media, White T-Shirt Media. I think White Shirt Media is a husband and wife team. If you're not from Bakersfield, you might used to live there. You might want to go to their pages if you get homesick from Bakersfield. So, make sure you share it. I don't know how you can link it to YouTube. I don't know if it's legal. I don't know. I will not use Facebook. They violate you're all supposed to remember. I wish somebody who's rich enough to buy Facebook, like someone bought Twitter. The only thing I don't like about Twitter, you can't make long comments. It's probably, I guess, because the server, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. But you can't share a link on Twitter, which they now call X. Or if you're on TikTok, you can put the link there on TikTok. I am a member of TikTok, but I don't know if it's under my name. It could be under something else. Maybe when I used to go on the CB radio, which was at that time was Billy Jack 2682006 is one I use on TikTok. So I guess I could go live on TikTok telling people if they want to watch my live stream or videos to go to my name, the number on YouTube, and you can see that way. But I keep forgetting to go to Twitter before I do a live stream. That's what happens when you're 70 years old. Kids, tell your parents you love them. No matter how young or how old you are. You never know when it's the last time you're going to see them. Parent, tell your kids give them a hug before you go to work. Because you got crazy people. So both husband and wife, be careful. Tell your kids you love them. Grandparents, when you see your grandkids, tell them you love them. Kids, tell your grandparents you love them, because that's the only grandparents you got. Tell your brother and sister that you love them. But will I tell my brother that I love him? No. He's a blankety blank person. The way he didn't go by mom's will, didn't go by my half of the house, which is over 100,000, which I should have coming, but no. But what they say, karma would get him. If you live in part of my county, know where Lexington, Indiana is. He lives on the Horner Road, where I can do a live feed, I would go by and show you what he did with some of my money. He got 20 plus acres. I think maybe 3 or 4 houses. They like to take care of old people. So families, if you got old people that lives around Scott or Clark County, beware of my brother and his wife. Be weary. So, God bless you. Say your prayers. It takes a while for the man upstairs to answer. I've been praying to God to help me to win the lotto. I've told him what I want to do with it. I want to help some veterinarian where people can bring their pets in to have them fixed. Help some homeless people. Maybe buy some land. Put up a tiny house, which a tiny house I believe consists of 1 bedroom. I think a kitchen and maybe an outhouse. I wouldn't know how to heat it. Maybe a heat pump, which has air conditioning. Make sure it's well insulated. Maybe spray foam. Make sure everything's up to code. And one rule, if I was to build it, let them live in it, there'd be no smoking in my house. You know how much smoke does to the inside of your house. I know they're homeless. Out here in the country you got septic tanks. So, I know there's people out there smarter than me that lives out in the country or works for the county that knows the law. It'd say you build 10 tiny homes. Would you have to have a septic tank for each one? On how much land would you need to build 10 tiny homes? Does a basement count as a tiny home? That'll give them more room to live in. You got families. I'm thinking a homeless family that lives on the street. We got plenty here in Clark County, Indiana, and Louisville. I've seen in Bakersfield some homeless people. They can't help it. They either lost a job, couldn't make payments on their house. I feel sorry for them, but pray to God that, God will help them homeless people. But that's one thing I would do if I hit the lotto. That's one of my dreams that I keep, I want to do. I know there's people that take advantage of you. That I'm 100%, if you're a spammer, forget it. You have to fill out an application. If I had 10 tiny homes, I might make 5 of them with basement and 5 of them without. I don't know how many tiny homes that you can put in. It depends what the law requires, Maybe have a small yard and fence it in case you got a doggy. This and that. That's what I like to do. Right, I forget what the rules is in Clark County. I think maybe an acre. That means if that's the case, I would have to have 10 acres. And the road would have to be so wide. You have to have probably sidewalks. And you have to go by the code in case you have a handicapped person. If you had a basement, there's no way that's handicap accessible. So, that's part of my dreams. I tell you more what I like to do before I die, because there's people that has helped me through my life. They still help me out. That's how come I got this Toyota and the Ranger. Before the Ranger, I had a Suburban. Before that, I had a Chevy Lowrider at 1500. People need good friends, but you got to be honest, because you could lose your friends. That's how come I'm telling you a little bit about my life, what I like to do. People say, well, you need a girlfriend. I've been married 5 times. The one who was a deaf mute, that was number 1. We had 4 beautiful kids. 2 of those kids is dead. She never did cheated on me. And the rest of them cheated on me except my son's mother, who passed away December the 6th. Didn't cheat on me. The only problem we had, and why I divorced her, we was always arguing. I was living with her mom and dad, which that was a mistake. Sometimes you have to. But you got to think, what is the best interest of your children? That's what I did. I thought the best interest for my child, where he wouldn't see that arguing going on, think that's how women was, not to him, which I never did hit that sweet lady. God bless her soul. I raised my son for 9 years, and he was a woman. He loved chasing girls when he was younger. But when his mom had him the last 9 years, he got disability, which under SSI rules, just like I did, you had to keep a report how you spent his money. She did. He didn't get none of his money. She used it on her other kids or go place when that was his money. So to me, I know she did. She committed fraud. But I had to turn a expense report in. If you off a penny, they want to know where that penny went to. I had that happen. I was 3 pennies short. But trying to add it up in my brain, I screwed up. So I used a calculator and explained to him where my boo-boo was. So I was forgiven. But his mom didn't do that. He was supposed to get so much money for himself and not the mom. So his mom owed him thousands and thousands of dollars. But since he's older and the statute of limitations ran out, so, when young kids don't know the law, tell your kids about the law in your state, what their rights is. Even a kid that's under 18, a police officer pulls them over. They cannot speak to a juvenile. Tell them you want your lawyer or your guardian. Do not answer any questions. That's your right. Say, I'm a juvenile. I'm not going to answer your questions because that's your right. They know you're not supposed to ask in case, you need a lawyer or your guardian or who is in charge of you. So parents, teach it to your young kids that's under 18. You know, police officers might get a little bit mad, but they violating your children's rights. If you get legal advice by asking a lawyer. There's some out there that give you free advice. So, teach your kids. So, to make a donation, make it to Tom Cartwright, 4375, Post Office Box 1, Charlestown, Indiana. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. Hit it twice where you get all notifications. I've told you what I want. I do need a new laptop, what they call for gaming, which I'm not a gamer. I don't want to use it for that. I want to use it to live stream Prison. Prison got another app, which it's on your computer, but not your cell phone, which is called Prison Mirror. I cannot use my HP because it don't have it's not made for gaming. It don't have the best graphic card. And I don't have the money to take it somewhere and have them put a better graphics card. So that's one thing. You can mail that to my post office box. You can have a return receipt. That way you know what day I got it and month. I might have a small post office box, but I don't know how the post office box is in your state. They got a great big one out in the lobby. They put it in there, take the key out, or maybe put the receipt in there. It's telling you where you go to the window where you can get the key to get it out of the big box. I'm trying to be truthful. If I don't, God will punish me. God works in various ways. And if you know anything about GoPros, you can send me a GoPro. I don't know if it comes with 2 batteries. I don't understand. I got to watch it 20 times before it soaks in this old man's head. Does it come with 2 batteries? How do you charge it? Does I have a separate charger that you can drop it in where you can charge it? Or do you have to, I don't know none of it. So if you want to send me the GoPro, maybe the head mount where I can use during the summertime. I saw in this one video that I mentioned that, for public safety, he's a YouTuber in Indiana. He has a vest mount. Would I have to have a different microphone? I think it comes with 2 lenses, which, I gotta watch it 20 times before I understand the video. So if you want to send me a GoPro, I guess the latest one is 12, and you can do that to the post office box. I need more education on, YouTube. I need 50 subscribers before I can get anything from YouTube, or you could donate to YouTube before I can get sponsors. Pepsi's not a sponsor, but I'm making them my sponsor. Maybe somebody's out there who works for Pepsi, or, you can pass it on to Pepsi, telling them that I'm sponsored of Pepsi Zero on my YouTube channel, like this. But I told you what kind of tractor I like to have, but I know there's rich people, you know, until I get to better as a YouTuber and got a whole lot of people following me, I wish that Kubota wouldn't just give me one to try out around my property. So the closest Kubota dealer to me is in Salisbury, Indiana, which is called Socobe Sales, which is on Highway 60. So you might can go through another Kubota dealer in your state and tell them what you want to do. Can you have this Kubota dealer in Salisbury, Indiana called Jacoby, having to deliver it, but we have to do that through emails. You know, I have to do that through emails. I've told you what I like to have, but, you know, I like to have a Kubota tractor, which is something like a 1025R, which I'm not mentioning that name, but they're in Salisbury too. But I like the color of Kubota. With the bucket, which they got a quick connect where you go out there and pull the 200s and you can disconnect it. And what they call a grappling hook. Because sometimes I got tree limbs that I can't pick up. And a backhoe where I got a creek. I do another video explain it to you what I want to do if I had to have a backhoe. You know, and like a rotary tiller that goes on the back of it. I know that's money, but maybe like a Troy-built self-driven rear-end drive rotary tiller. The front end would beat me to death, and a rear rotary tiller is better, but I think Will Horse makes one with a gear shift. I guess Will Horse is still around. I don't know. Or a Troy built and that rear end drive. But, you know, by having a rotary tiller on the back of the tractor, I can make it a little bit longer and stuff like that. You know, I can plant some more stuff. And instead of burning my tree limbs, maybe use a small gasoline engine where I can throw small limbs in and have some chips to go in. I also do a video, you know, I've done a video where I show you outside of my house where I got a tree down. If you live in my area of Clark County, Indiana, Scott County, you know, within 50 miles, if you got a chainsaw over 28 inches long, you can have the free firewood that's down on the ground. And the log splitter, and the way to take it, you know, it's free. But people said, well, you cut it up, you split it, and you haul it. That's not free. That takes gasoline to cut it up. That means I would have to charge, which I'm not able. Some people say, what kind of chainsaw do you need? I said, probably a Skill, 28 inches plus. I got an off-brand. I'm going to have to take it to the shop, have a new chain put on it, have a tune-up done to it, but I should never bought that to begin with, but that's the only thing I could afford. But I like a Skilled chainsaw, because every tree trimmers I know around here use a Skilled chainsaw. But, you know, Skilled is not a sponsor, but I do have a Skilled weed eater. It got the motorcycle hands on it and got a strap, which that's not too bad, but The blade they sold me is like a blade you use on a skill saw. There's bound to be a better blade for that, but you all know stuff like that. So if you're in the lawn care business, people said, do you need a mower deck for that Kubota or a finish mower for the back of it? Well, yes and no, but as long as my Troy-built rider hose out, that'd be okay. I just keep using my Troy-built. I was hoping from that insurance where I was in the wreck that I get enough money to buy me a zero turn. I like to have a Hustler commercial type, which I got a store up the road from me, Ace Hardware, which is in Scott County, Indiana, but I just can't afford it because I had a person demonstrate a zero turn, but the Hustlers, you ride on it. I don't want to go 90 miles an hour. It jarred my old bones since I got back problems. So that's something, I was looking at. But, like I say, I don't know how much money you make on YouTube. I guess it depends how many subscribers you got. I guess it depends on how many subscribers you got. So, that's some of the things, I've told you some of my story. I'll probably pick up more subscribers. I told you one I need to do it. I'm on Social Security. I'm retired. I can't work, which I should get more, but maybe there's a reason for it. So I want to say God bless you. Share this. Send the link to your friends. Tell them to subscribe. Before I can do anything, like what they call making money, maybe 50 subscribers. There's Kathy, named after one of my girlfriends. See one other. There's Socks, the #1 Tomcat. There's Alexi. There's Wildcat. I don't know if this is, it could be Alex. I don't think it, I don't know. I can't see unless I raise the neck up. Between Alexi and Margaret just got a little white spot right here. And Alex got bigger spot here. That's how I can tell them apart. It's short hair, so you all be good. So you be careful. God bless you. I'm sorry I don't have more subscribers. But to do the live stream in my car, I need a bracket that I could sit on my dashboard, maybe like a suction cup. I need a cable. Like I said, I have searched that house yesterday. I look in closets. I look in my chest of drawers. I don't know what I've done with it because I knew it had a cord for it. I hate to go back to the cell phone company to buy it because, they charge you a little bit more. I got an iPhone, what they call SE, which is red. I don't know if that makes a difference. I know I got a cigarette lighter. They make a cigarette lighter adapter that you can plug 2 or 3 into it, if you know what I'm talking about. because my cigarette lighter in my car doesn't work because thanks to Toyota, they got one of those little tiny fuses. It went out. I used a little tool and broke it off. So that means I would have to go to a Toyota dealer and probably spend $100. So I got a cigarette lighter with a cord on it where you hook it straight to your battery. But I cannot leave my GPS on all the time. But I need my GPS that way that it does record. But that's a year old. I like to get me a better dash cam. GPS. Dash cam that'll do front and back. And it has GPS that'll show you your speed, date, and time. Everybody should have a dash cam in case you get in a wreck, or you get in a wreck where somebody runs a stoplight. So, I don't know what kind of dash cam that, you can use, front and back, and what kind of SD card. Because the dash cam I tried to download some of the video. I can't figure out to do it. So I'm just letting you know. You all have a great day. They talking about snow this weekend. Good night, because I got to get up at 6 o'clock, which to me, I'm going to stay up all night. I done slept about 4 hours. That'll get me until I get back home since it's Friday. I say I probably could pick up more subscribers if I do live stream in my car. But Clark County and Scott County is nothing like Bakersfield. Always something going on. I live too far away to do live streams of Jeffersonville and Clarksville. I can show you what the town of Clarksville look like. I can show you what Jeffersonville looks like. You can go down along the river there in Jeffersonville. During the summer, I can do a video on the boats out there on the river or the Belle River. The things I like to do. I like to have more people, so I'm asking for your all help to help me out where I could be a better live streamer. If you know anything you want to talk about, remember, keep it PG. By watching other videos. You know what their rules is. I do not care what race you are. I don't care what your sex life is. Just be polite to people. Don't talk bad about other people's YouTube. Don't talk bad about people. So if you do something, sexual content, or you talk about bad people's YouTube channels, or you put somebody down, you're going to get barred. There's no probation because you've been warned by other YouTube people. So good night. God bless you. I'm gone. Click on the off button or end button.